One good thing I think is the Cavs may get the #1 choice this year. Is that good or bad?
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to be determined, but I mean, the problem with this year's draft list, from what I've read, is there's a premium on the top end talent, and there's really no can't miss, super stud anywhere near the line of like a LeBron James or a Dwayne Wade or that type of transcendent player. So we'll see, but it seems like there's not a lot of superstars, and the ones who are deemed to be really, really good are not, at least not yet, pegged as transcendent players.
Well, let's take a look at what's out there, at least 4 or 5 of them. In no particular order. You start out with Anthony Edwards. There you see his stats: 19 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 2.8 per game assists. And he shot 40% from the field, 29% from three-point land. And he is 6'5", 225. Coached by Tom Crean. Remember, he coached at Indiana, and he also coached Dwayne Wade and Victor Oladipo. A true power forward who plays like a bigger version of Oladipo. That comes from NBADraftRoom.com. Then there's lamelo-ball, D-man that's always going to have his father in the background, right? You can't think of him as a player without thinking of the father. And 2019, 20 stats, 17 points per game, 7.5 rebounds. And you see it right there. He won the NBL Rookie of the Year honors in Australia, and played only 12 games due to a foot injury. Then you have James Wiseman, had some controversy off the court. He's from Memphis. He's 7'1", 240 pounds, and he didn't play in many games, 3, so it's kind of a small sample size. NCAA gave him a 12-game suspension after receiving improper benefits from Coach Penny Hardaway. There you see what happened there. Then you have a name that I think most people in Ohio know, Obi-Toppin out of Dayton, 6'9", 220. 20 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, 2.2 assists per game, and 1.2 blocks. He was the Atlantic 10 Player of the Year and received the Karl Malone Award given to the nation's top power forward. So, I mean, that's the name that most people, I think, got a chance to see. Didn't play a lot of games, but more than anybody else out there at that level. He might be the one. If you were going to pick it out of a hat right now, it might be that one. You have a thought one way or the other, D-man?
Yeah, Les, I mean, regarding Ball, as you said, I mean, who knows what happens with his father as far as the influence. It seemed like his influence had waned a little bit, at least where Lonzo was concerned when he was shipped off to the Pelicans. But Ball, the questions about Ball are, number one, that frame. I mean, 6'8" at $180. You're going to have to put on a lot of beef to play in the NBA, to withstand the rigors of the NBA. Plus, he's got to shoot better. The one that scares me, the matchup that scares me, in other words, matching the player with the correct team, is Obi-Toppin to Golden State. That would scare me as somebody who detests Golden State, given what they did to the Cavaliers for 3 out of those 4 seasons. But you have next season, you could potentially have, a healthy Klay Thompson, a healthy Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and then you added Obi-Toppin, who some are saying, okay, is a guy without a position, but the Warriors were really at the forefront of that positionless basketball, that fluidity, that space and hurry kind of a game. And so Toppin, to me, would fit perfectly with Golden State.
Sounds like a guy who should be in Thomas the Train, the kids used to play with. We asked our Facebook questioners, or seekers out of questions, who would you like to see the Cavs draft with their first round pick? Ted Moon says, gentlemen, if I may, this team is at a point where they can use a little coachable personality. So in this order, I need from Memphis, James Wiseman. The game is still over centers, isn't it? Tell that to Zion. This kid is close. Then from Australia, the NBL, that is, speaking of personality, lamelo-ball. And lastly, from Georgia, Anthony Edwards. He's a tank, and he might be a reach, but I like him, and I bet the D-man does too. Larry Pantasia says, Obi-Toppin from Dayton, the only player nationwide who averaged 20.7 rebounds and shot better than 60%. Those are Larry Nance Sr. type numbers. And Tim Ross finishes it with not just a point guard. Sexton and Garland were starting to develop and get over the hump, and we may need to fill out the rest of the roster with different players. So that's what we're getting from Facebook.com, where you can find us at Facebook.com/more-sports-and-les-levine. We'll come on